Hey guys, this is Hajyahya, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the transactional model of communication and how this relates to the field of medicine. So to begin with, the transactional model of communication is between two or more people that are communicating simultaneously. And what this means is that both parties involved will act as a sender and a receiver of information. So when we're evaluating another person, we pay attention to their nonverbals, and this will help us formulate the way we respond to them. So in the field of medicine, this type of communication is essential to providing patient care. It's important to be both an active receiver of information and an active source of information. So an example of this is while you're talking to a patient, you can pay attention to their nonverbals and their verbals to make sure that they understand the information that you're providing. In a recent study, it was discovered that patients only retain about 40% of the information that's presented to them. That means 60% is completely lost. Of the 40% that's retained, over half of it was retained incorrectly. So as a physician, it is really important to take the time to assess a patient's understanding, making communication really important. A second thing is that as a physician, it's important to pay attention to what the patient is trying to communicate to you. So in another study, it was discovered that 77% of physicians interrupted a patient within 18 seconds of them beginning to talk. So that is over 3/4 of physicians interrupting patients before they even get half of their thoughts out. This is really important to practice the transactional model of communication so that the patient can be an active participant. By listening thoroughly, a physician can obtain all the facts, the symptoms, the history, and the relevant information to diagnose a patient. And this will lead to more accurate diagnoses. In 2010, the Institute of Medicine estimated that $765 billion was wasted on ineffective or inessential procedures or services done by healthcare professionals. So that is money that is wasted. So I definitely think that it's reasonable to assume that increased communication between doctors and patients and doctors and other doctors, doctors and healthcare professionals, this number of money that's wasted could definitely be decreased. The next thing is that the communication activities that we worked on in class, those were great examples of transactional communication. We had to practice being active listeners, generating feedback, maintaining our focus through different types of what's called noise or distractions. And we also had to assess each other's nonverbals and formulate appropriate responses and questions to the interviewers and the interviewees. So basically, to conclude this talk, communication is probably the most important or one of the most important skills to utilize in the practice of medicine. So thank you.